job, and I'll come after you.
Got it. Happy with the win. Credit Cumberland. They came in here, played well. I just thought it was really a tale of two halves, particularly in the first half. We weren't physical enough, really on either side of the ball. Paint points were 18-10 in their favor in the first half. I mean, but to me, the biggest telltale sign was at the under 16 media. We had 3 fouls for the whole game. I mean, I'm not saying go out there and just hit people, but you're going to get called for an illegal screen or fight through or a hand check when you're playing physical basketball. It's just part of it. We dug ourselves a hole because of just lack of physicality, effort, intensity. And, I told our guys, like, you can look at these kind of games and there are people out there that call it the trap games. You hear that term a lot. The one before is a hotly contested league game against somebody that's picked second in the preseason polls. They got the preseason player of the year. Your next game's against the top 10 team in the country in Houston. And as soon as today's game's over versus a non-1, you're going home for Christmas. And your mind is on everything but your opponent. And that's, I'm sure, not what they were thinking in their locker room. Similar to us, perhaps last year, the game right before Christmas, we're going to play Tennessee. Number 1 team in the country, 2.5 hours right down the road. Let's see if we can go get them. And we're up 6 at halftime. And was their mind completely on us? I don't know. You'd have to ask Rick and go back and figure that out. Our minds clearly weren't on them in the first 20. But they changed it, particularly because of Torrey. I think he scored the first 9 points in the second half. His energy, his rebounding proved to be the difference in the game. So credit them. They've got 12 guys from the state of Tennessee. Their 3 best players are local guys. Played JP2, Hume Fogg, and MBA. And good players, love playing local teams with good local talent. And, again, happy with the win. Questions?
The half-court offense, I thought overall you got the looks you wanted. Would you agree that you still thought that was sufficient?
Yeah, we weren't. Obviously, we have to score by committee, run good team offense. There's not the guy that like you see on some other teams that he's scoring 22 a game for us, and the next guy's scoring 10. We do it by committee, so we were generating decent shots. I guess the downside was that we weren't putting enough pressure on the paint before we took decent and sometimes pretty good threes. I mean, that's who we are. We got to make them. But when you've got a size advantage and you're a little bit more athletic, to not try to touch the paint before you take the three were some of the ones that were disappointing. It'll be very different on the 29th.
Yeah.
You can't turn that one down. We may not get that open again. So there's as you mature as a team and mature as an individual player, that's part of what you've got to know where our advantages in a game like this versus Houston's clearly going to have an advantage in that area on the 29th. So, I thought our shot selection was just okay.
So you talked about that physical presence down low in the paint. Did that just come by virtue of you challenging them to be more physical, or was that a conservative effort? We have to put the ball in the paint.
Both.
Yeah.
Just at halftime, like you look at all these stats and their points in the paint, fast break points, all these things are in their favor. I mean, we what are we doing? And we changed it. We changed it there in the second half, but just not physical for the first 20, 22, 24 minutes.
Tori, talk about that halftime adjustment. Clearly you came out with the fire under you in that second half. What kind of personally did you take into consideration going in that second half?
It was really just what Coach came in the locker room and obviously he wasn't happy with our result in the first half. So he just challenged us to just touch the paint. And that's what we did in the first media. We were just driving, making smart plays, not trying to force anything, but just making the game easy.
And being physical, 8 fouls drawn for you tonight. It's got to be one of the higher ones of the season for you. Talk about that presence you have to have, be physical down low in the paint just to get to the free throw line.
Well, like over the summer and preseason, like coaches talked about how like my presence in the paint is very important for the team, and like being able to draw fouls is also good. I mean, you could see like just during the game, me driving so many people coming to the paint. That's easy kick out threes or easy kick and drive, and then we're kicking it out. It's just making the right play.
Josh, same for you. Talk about those opportunities because a guy like Torrey is able to draw a lot of those defenses. The shot attempts are going up for you, including the points are going for you too. Talk about how that part of your game is starting to open up for you.
Yeah, just basically what Coach said. Like, we don't have just one guy that can go get 20 a night. Like last game, Kamari had 20. Today it was my day and Torrey's. But like, we just have a lot of guys that can put the ball in the bucket. So it's like when Torrey catches it, he just draws a lot of attention. When Kamari catches it, he draws a lot of attention. So when we have unselfish guys, it just gets everybody open looks.
Coach, you kind of talked about today you weren't physical enough. You're about to go up against one of the most physical teams in the country.
Yep.
You know, you're about to go on break a little bit. But how do you all flip the switch to make sure that you're prepared to take on Houston?
Yeah, better flip the switch. Again, it's you understand you understand the mindset, don't like the mindset. You know, it's easy to get distracted or have your mind, particularly, again, going back to this game's being sandwiched between those two, and it's Christmas time, and, you know, you're not juiced up enough. You know, we talk about your attitude and your effort, and I know they'll be excited about the 29th. I mean, they know who that is. You know, I'm sure most of them watched them play Arkansas last night. Those aren't the ones that you got to make sure that you're ready for. Those are the ones that you kind of circle. But the thing you try to get young people to understand is today's game is the most important game on our schedule, not a game that's in 8 days. Today's game is the most important. The first 20 minutes, we look like the 29th is the most important game and not today. And you just can't do that. You know, when you win against opponents in a large margin, it's because of the way you played, not because the other team's that bad. You know, that doesn't exist at this level. You've got to outplay them. And, you know, we didn't do that for the whole game, did enough to win.
And Torrey, for the players, kind of just echoing the question towards Coach, how do you guys flip the switch from playing an NAIA team to a top 10 team in the country?
It's exactly what Coach said. I mean, Houston is probably the most physical team in college basketball. So, I mean, if you don't flip that switch, then, I mean, it's going to be a rough game for us.
Is there anything that you guys can take from your first really top 10, top 5 type matchup against Michigan and put towards the game against Houston?
It's going to be about the same game. I mean, Michigan was very physical. They're also very big in size. So, I mean, so is Houston. So, I mean, we just got to come out and beat the physicality.
Good.
Thank you.
Thanks, Shell.
Thanks, guys.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
Thank you.
You're listening to the Blue Raider Podcast, presented by Gold's Gym of Tennessee. Your all-access pass to everything Middle Tennessee sports, game recaps, player spotlights, and the latest from the heart of Blue Raider Nation. Now, here's your host, Jay Golden.